Good morning, church. Good morning, church.
The heart of Africa, a new kind of school is rising. Freedom International Schools Africa. We are Africa's most affordable IB World School.
I'll be the MC for this session, and I want to thank all of you for making time to come and condole with the family of the late brother, Honorable Cyrus Jirongo. I spoke to Cyrus on 12th December at 9:07. Little did I know that that's the last time I was going to speak to him alive. I've not spoken to him again. I intend to speak to him before the service ends. So the church has been gracious to give us a few minutes to make our tributes. I request that you honor the church by being peaceful, gracious. Cyrus was a man of peace. Cyrus was a man of love. Cyrus loved the church. So let us send him off with decorum, culture, and civility. Cyrus has a long history, so I want to call upon his friends who are with him when he started his political career. And there are two gentlemen here. Please come to the stage, Kigan Kirgit and Honorable Kim Kung. You have 2 minutes each. Kim Kung.
Good morning, church. As you have heard, Cyrus was everything to almost everybody. I want to wake up former YK. If you are there, just wake up and wave. Yeah, I'm seeing Amayo. Yeah, there are many. Thank you. Those are the few that we are still surviving. Most of us have also gone, but we thank God. Cyrus, we met with him in 1989, and to date, I think if you go by numbers, it's over 36 years, and we have been together. And the more we knew, or we came together as a group, and he treated us like his brothers and sisters. And all the time, we have never forsaken any of us. We have been together through high and low, and he has never said we are low. He is always a man who gives us hope. Whenever some of us are lost, he says, we are reaching there. We are reaching there. Up to the last minute. On Thursday, I talked to him, and we were supposed to meet with him on Friday, the other week. I don't know what happened, we didn't talk. Then I said, let me not talk to him today. I will talk to him on Saturday. We normally go for Kukula Mara, somewhere in a garden. So, reaching morning, instead of now waking up, I'm seeing 20 calls. What's happening with your friend? The first person I remembered was Amayo. I called him, he told me, yes, it is true. And he was on his way to Naivasha. We were all shattered. The whole country was shaken. And here we are. Our brother is here. We want to thank God. Maybe this was his day, because they say it is only him who knows when we are going. He has gone before us. I want to tell our brother, please go and prepare, and as you wait for us, thank you, and God bless you.
Good morning, church. Mine will be brief because it's really very difficult to talk about CJ. It was part of my life in politics, and we had very deep personal relationship. But so I'll just read because I have so many things to say. If I wanted to say something, it'll take the whole day. So I'll read. You were a friend in the truest sense of the word. You called me Kimboy, a name that spoke of familiarity and shared history. You are warm, generous, and disarmingly friendly. Your door was always open, your table always full. Many afternoons we spent at your home, where friends flowed easily and always received with grace by your welcoming family. Thank you, ladies. I had the honor of coordinating and presiding over the election that made you chairman of YK92, while I served as the national chief coordinator at a defining moment in our history. Our paths also converged in public service. We were both elected in 1997 and had the privilege of serving together in the 8th Parliament on the Kanu ticket, bound by shared responsibility. Through the years, our bond remained steady and unbroken, and your final days, you lived large in spirit and in heart. Your friendship was a gift, and your memory will always remain deeply cherished. Rest well, my brother.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kim Kung. TG, if you're around, please come forward. You have 2 minutes exactly. And the next speaker is Fred Amayo, followed by Honorable David Morade. If you could be upstanding so that we can save on time, please. Just come forward. TG, Fred Amayo, and David Morade, come forward. And then I'll also give an opportunity to somebody from the office to speak on behalf of the office, either Saulo or Phyllis.
Good morning, church. I'm very sad to be here. Kusema kwa heri kwa CJ. You know, when we met with Cyrus in the 90s, that was the time the Kenyan political system was about to change. There were many of us, Cyrus Jirongo, Fred Amayo, I see here, Gideon Moi, and so on, who at that time were buddies. But it was also the time when some of us were changing our minds that we needed a change from the Kanu regime, and there were those who were going to fight to keep the Kanu regime going. So Cyrus Jirongo formed YK92, na wakaenda kusaidia mzee hayati Moi, and some of us joined the opposition. Wakati huo, sasa mimi na CJ tulikuwa tunalimana, kwa sababu nilikuwa naandika gazeti inaitwa Finance with Jeho Gatabaki, and we were opposing the government, and Cyrus was in the #1 spot of supporting the government. So after those first elections passed, and the regime of President Moi came now to a new era, me and Cyrus became even closer because we had done battle, but we kept being friends. So when this dispensation came, myself and Raila Odinga and others started doing politics, Jirongo became very vocal against what was going wrong in the government. And so when I went on to start a television show, which was Point Blank KTN on television, one of my first guests was Cyrus Jirongo. And I remember he came right after Raila Odinga did. And that time, William Ruto had just been elected the president of Kenya. And I wanted to hear from Jirongo, having known our history from the time of Kanu, President Moi, during the opposition years, what he now thinks of the new Kenya. And a lot of people had not heard what Jirongo had to say. It was the first interview that he did at KTN. And Jirongo was very critical of the current government. And he was very critical about particularly the lies and the things that were being done that were not going to help the people of Kenya. So as Jirongo sits here, or lies here today, let us know that he was a voice for the downtrodden. He was a fighter for those who had no privilege. And his last wishes were for this country to be a better country and for this country to rise up to the full potential. May I say, speaking from the mountain, that I never thought Jirongo a Luhya. He was a Kenyan. He treated himself and all of us as one Kenya for everyone. May Jirongo's soul rest in eternal peace. The song is ended, but the melody goes on.
Good morning, church. My name, as you've been told, is Fred Amayo. I am a Luo from South Nyanza, Karachuonyo, Kindu Bay. Yet to Cyrus Jirongo, I was always his younger brother. Cyrus was a true Kenyan. I think the presence of these people today is an indication of what many of us just pay lip service to. Look at his family, look at his friends, look at his colleagues. That was a true Kenyan. Mama Ann Kanini, Christine Nyokabi, Anne Lanoy, my heart goes out to you and the children. You have stood by Cyrus all his life. You have hosted so many people in this country. You have taken care of your children. And you know, it was very strange. Even being so close to Cyrus, it took me a very long time to know which child belonged to which mother. These are very unique ladies. I congratulate you, I thank you, and I am glad that in choosing, my friend chose the best that there was. We are proud of you. To Jirongo's children, especially the bigger boys, Preston, there is Jake, there is Craig, and Tim. What your father did to hold this family together, you as the older boys in the family, you know very well what your father's philosophy of life was. You owe it to him to support your mothers and hold this family together, because that is what he had wanted all the time. If you ever wanted to disagree with Cyrus, it was over his children. Cyrus treated all his children the same. The sisters, Ndugu, we are very, very sorry. ever since the time of Musuva, to all your family members, I have been with Cyrus. We have attended all your funerals. Cyrus has always come whenever I have a problem, whenever I've lost loved ones, to the point where we used to even go. He's coming with you as a friend to go to the mortuary to do what and what. A real true friend. The one thing that I don't understand about people is it seems the only universal measure of success is shillings and cents. We never understand that the virtues, what you stand for, family, relationships. If you look at Cyrus's family, you will tell what real success is. They are not only many, they are brilliant, they are well-schooled, and they are very, very disciplined children. If you look at Cyrus's friends and partners, we are with Tom Waiharo in the office. Tom is from Central. As I told you where I am from, yet I am a signatory in Cyrus's companies. He entrusted me, not because I come from his village or I'm from his tribe, but because he was a true Kenyan who gave everybody the opportunity. Now, when I met him, after I met him in 1990, the late Hezekiah Oyugi's home in Rongo, I had gone to see HNO. He was called Kalam Maduong that time. He was the one who used to give the final authority for anything he wanted to do in government. I asked Job Oyugi's son, and who is this man your father is calling you to meet? He told me, hey, you don't know who that guy is. That is the deadliest guy in Nairobi. I looked and he had an afro like CJ's, like CJ Junior's. I didn't think much of him then. But later, we were to meet up when we went to see the president. And after a while, Jirongo became our chairman. And thereafter, he has treated all the people we were with as family. Jirongo was one person who every day would go and eat ugali at home for lunch. Most of you who are here, if you are really Jirongo's friend, you must have eaten that ugali. Chairman Moral, you are one of the people I've seen. Martha, everybody was there because he loved sharing. Zile ugali and umepika all those years, I think inaweza kujenga hii expressway mpaka Uganda. It was so strange to find somebody who had the best but lived so simply. We went some time when we were having problems with our issues to do with the project in Hazina Estate to see lawyers in London, in Masons. And we ended up at the Ritz. I was telling Jirongo, this now is the most high-tech place that you can ever be. We went, and the way we were served, in the middle of the plate, there was just a small kanyama, and he asked me, sasa mayo, hii ni chakula gani? Tutapata ugali wapi? Namwambia, Jatesh, tuko London, first world. Sasa unasema mambo ya ugali hapa, unafikiri tuko Shamahoho? In finishing, Kisia, just give me 1 more minute. This is the only time I have for my friend. 1 minute. There are records that we must set straight. Once and for all, and I owe it to my friend to say it here today. There has been a lot of stories about Jirongo and where he made his money and his wealth from. I would like to put it here today in broad daylight. By the time I met Jirongo before we started YK92, when he was just in his late 20s, going to 30s, he had already built Hazina Estate. He was building Kemri Estate. We were on site in Saika Estate by the time we were getting into politics in 1992. This getting into politics is what has caused Jirongo all these waves right through his life. Because Jirongo was already a successful man before he got into politics, and those who are propagating these stories that he made his money from politics, I know for a fact that when Jirongo was a member of parliament, he never even spent a shilling out of his salary as MP. It used to go to the people of Lugari. The feeling he had, and I must ask my brothers in Western Kenya, the way
you lead, your super agents go to work, completing tasks, scheduling work.
Really felt for you. But every time he was out there, I don't know what happened. You need to relook. And now, in his absence, I'm sure a lot of people will ask, why didn't we do what Jirongo was telling us to do when we had the opportunity to do it? In finalizing my few minutes, I would like to also thank some friends who may not have an opportunity to come here. We have our partners, our business colleagues from Libya, Mr. Haga and the team. You can stand and wave to the crowd. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think you'll have an opportunity. We will call you. Thank you very much, Haga, for coming. Thank you very, very much. Even the Mr. Guo, I'm told you'll also have the opportunity. So I think I will leave it there. And as we escort Cyrus kindly, when we go even up country, let us not make this a political affair, because we are escorting a friend and somebody who is a brother and a father to people. It's not all his life that was about politics. Kwa jina ya Yesu, amen.
Okay, David.
Morning, church. I think Amayo amesema yote. Kwa hivyo sisi tutatoa rambirambi yangu mwenyewe binafsi kwa Anne, Christine, Lanoi na watoto. He has told you how whenever I was in Nairobi, Cyrus would arrange for us to do ugali and kuku. He would come from Mayfair Sweets and then we would come to Whispers. Na tulikuwa tunaongea mambo mingi. Na Amayo, usituambie tusiongee siasa. Jirongo alikuwa a politician. And he had a vision. And we share so much in common. Because I think Cyrus is one of the most misunderstood people. But those of us who knew him and understood him and understood the energy and the character, you know that we have lost a visionary leader. It's not so much about business. Cyrus worked out big deals. Some real, some in the sky. But give him a pen and a paper, and he would craft for you a multi-billion-dollar deal. I know for a fact he was already working on some. Go down, my friend. You know what we were doing? He talked to me about what they were planning to do in terms of the reconstruction of Libya. His project in Ruai, carbon credits with Museveni. So, over and above that, he loved that this country be stable and that the leadership of this country have a vision. And of course, that meant he stepped on some toes along the way. For those of you who don't know, and I'm here with my boss, I don't know whether you will give him a moment. It is Jirongo who made Uhuru president. It is Jirongo who stuck bumper to bumper with Nyayo. Maybe Amos Wako, you know the forces that were fighting this thing. I don't want to name names, but Jirongo pushed Nyayo up to a point where in Kapsakwoni, with this Joe Kim Kung, Moi declared. Everybody was saying, I'm the one. Raila was saying he's the one. Saitoti alikuwa anasema ni yeye. Kalonzo alikuwa anasema, hata Musali alikuwa amesema, hata Ngala. They were all angling to be Moi's successor. Jirongo ndiye alisukuma Nyayo mpaka wakatangazia Mount Elgon, na Joe ulikuwa hapo wakati huo. Alafu dunia ikaharibika. It went down. So God rest our brother. I know my party leader will be joining us, and he has joined us in the process of these preparations. Just want to tell Kisia, before I called Kisia on that Saturday, I had spoken to Jirongo the previous day. He had sent me, you know, I have so many fake social media accounts. So he had sent me one from David Murade, which is fake. If you received the corona vaccine and you neither drink alcohol nor smoke, you will die suddenly without any warning. So I sent him, I said, of course you know it's fake. Then he laughed, you know, ha ha ha. Then I said to him, happy holidays. And he wrote back to me and said, same to you, my brother. That was a day before the accident. I was wishing him happy holidays. I'm sure wherever he is, he's smiling down at us, because I know he has rested. And God, it's all in God's own time. People talk what could have happened. Also, we are not satisfied because we don't know. But you can either die of old age, like Amos Wako will die out of old age. You can die out of sickness, correct? You can die out of an accident, correct? or you can even commit suicide. Lakini hiyo siku ambayo Mungu amesema, hata kama ni kuuawa, even if you're killed, that is only one way of dying. So we don't question God's will, but God, you have taken away from us our hero. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
David. Well, I allowed some latitude to the two previous speakers, Honorable David Morade and my friend Fred Amayo, and I request the following speakers to kindly observe time so that we can finish the service in good time. I think it was important that clarification is made about who the real CJ was. CJ, before joining politics, was an astute business person. He had made millions of shillings before joining politics. If you ask me, I think politics destroyed my brother Cyrus. Cyrus made no money from politics, but rather he lost. So, and thank you, my brother Amayo, for making that clarification. People think that Cyrus made money from politics, farther from the truth. Now, I'll call, just to confirm what I've said, I'll call two people to speak from the business perspective. The first one is Cyrus' very close friend and business partner, international business partner, Guodong, and he'll be accompanied by Aga Mohammed. Please come forward.
Jirongo, good morning, everyone. Okay. My name is Guodong. Jirongo will call me Adongo. Yeah. I've known him for many years as a brother, business partner, and a friend. He even to advise me, you are now African Chinese brother, shall get more wives. So I share dreams, struggling, and victories. Build not just the business, but born root in loyalty and trust. I have lost a brother in friendship and a partner in purpose. Although my friend is gone, but his voice, guidance, and spirit remain on us, remain with us. This is why we have a brother, Mr. Aga, the chairman and board for our Libyan business, and his brother, Amida, they're from Libya, and also another brother, Mohammed Fatih, from Egypt. Welcome them.
Assalamu alaikum. I am sorry I am not talking for English, and the translator for the talking is Mr. Dr. Mohammed Fatih. طبعا احنا مقدم التعازي للجميع بوفاة السيد جيرونغو. طبعا هو أخ عزيز لنا بشكل كبير وشريك مهم جدا في حركة الإعمار داخل ليبيا، وله الفضل الكبير في المشروعات اللي احنا قمنا بها ونقوم بها الآن. فتحياتي لروحه ونتمنى أن يرقد بسلام. Thank you.
Good morning, Church. I'm Mohammed Fathi from Egypt, and this is Mr. Mohammed Aga from Libya and Mr. Ahmeda from Libya. We are the board members and the owners of the company Dana Shiftings Energy Limited. We came here, we got a very deep sadness that we are saying our last words to our brother, our close friend, and our business partner, Mr. Cyrus Jirongo. All our condolences for his family, his wife, and his children, and all the people that belongs to Mr. Jirongo and love him very much. It's a big blow and a big loss, the pass away of Mr. Jirongo, as he was, before a strategic partner, he was our brother and our faithful and close friend. Mr. Jirongo got a lot that you must, all of you, be proud of him and what he did before. He is our strategic partner in the strategic business plan for the construction and the strategic business inside Libya. And not inside Libya only, it's all over, extended all over the African countries. One more time, we are very sad, and I know all of you are very sad, but our deep condolences one more time to his family, his wife, and his children. And thank you.
Thank you.
So, and here we also have our co-director, Mr. Get. You just stand with a hand to everybody from DRC. Then last side we have Celestine. Yeah, Celestine. She's a co-director from Germany. Yeah. Then of course we have our Chinese partner, very important, Mr. Wu Di and Mr. Li Yuanyu. Yeah. And my dear wife, Ping Shen Guo. Maybe in future have our Kenyan wife also. So, in memory, we will be, like my partner said, we shall carry forward for the work we have began together. He's deeply missed, forever honored, and never forgotten. We love you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, there are many more business partners, but those will speak in Lumakanda on 30th. Among them is Mr. Mwanga. Where is my brother, Mr. Mwanga? Mr. Mwanga is there, he is local business partner, and he will represent the business community in Lumakanda because of time. The last speaker in that category is Mr. Mohoho Kenyatta. Mohoho Kenyatta, please come forward.
Good morning, church. I don't know where to start, I think, as I talk about Cyrus. When I got the news, I was out of the country and received a message on my telephone. I actually had to sit back for a while to sort of take it in. I then proceeded to pick up the phone and call my brother Gideon Moy to try and inquire whether this is something that was real or it was just the kind of fake news that is normally spread around. When Gideon actually confirmed to me that this was actually the case, I could not believe it. You may ask why, because all of us will pass at some stage in life. I think, as has been said here earlier on, Cyrus was a person who was full of energy, full of life. And just the thought of him not being with us is something that was really unfathomable, unbelievable. I then actually made the second phone call to David here, who then again confirmed that this was the case. I think today we celebrate a man who was larger than life in very many ways. A man misunderstood by some, by many, including myself, I think, when we first got to know each other, but we got on as time went on. But a man who was larger than life. We would actually meet in various places, just the two of us, to deliberate on many issues. I've heard a lot about ugali. I think nobody has mentioned chicken because that is what we used to actually consume a lot of when we would meet. And you would actually find the depth in terms of a lot of the things that we would actually discuss. There was a lot of depth in Cyrus. He would always have many ideas, a lot of energy, which came with huge charisma. I will not say very much more for today. All I will say is sleep well, my brother. Go in peace as you prepare that place in the next world for all of us. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Moho. Now, before I call the last category, and I request that we really are pressed of time, kindly take the shortest time possible. I don't want to switch off the mic. So before I call the last category, let me say this. As I said earlier, I've spoken to Cyrus on 12th at 9:07. Little did I know that that would be the last time that we're going to speak. We were to have lunch with my brother, Senator Haniri, the following day at 1 o'clock. That lunch never happened. I crossed Cyrus, or Cyrus crossed my path from 3 angles. The first one was from my late father-in-law, Honorable Elijah Wasike Mwangale, and my wife is here. Jessie, stand up and wave. That is Jessie. So
I know her, namjua, eh? Just be kind. Acha nikushow.
Who, of course, the father was a very close friend to Cyrus, a business mentor and political mentor. The second time I crossed Cyrus is when I was going to look for business in his office. You remember the T-shirt saga. I don't know whether you remember, but that order was mine. The T-shirt order was mine. I never got it. And so when I went to see Cyrus, I said, I lost this one. Cyrus said, okay, hiyo imeenda, sasa tutafanya nini? I said, okay. So Cyrus asked me, is there something else that you want to do? And you know, that time I was in the corporate world. So Cyrus removed a complimentary slip and addressed to the MD, National Bank of Kenya, please advance Philip Kisia 700,000. Of course, I was scared. I never went for that money. But that was Cyrus. Of course, then, of course, we met in my later years, and that friendship has blossomed up to now. As my son Ethan says, Cyrus was a giver, not a taker. Cyrus gave everything he had, and most of the times was left with nothing, even nothing for the family. That was just Cyrus Jirongo. In the last year, in the last 12 months, we've had 3 events, or 2, plus this one. One when we were giving away our daughter Barbara, and we were together with Amayo and other friends. And of course, when our daughter Laureen passed on again, we were together. And now, this is how we're ending the year. But we have, we cannot question God, but we ask those who are uncomfortable to allow the Luhya community, to allow the Tirikis, to allow Kenyans, to allow the world to mourn Cyrus Jirongo in a befitting manner. Don't be uncomfortable. Don't be uncomfortable. Allow us to mourn Cyrus. Lastly, I've talked about the T-shirt saga. The other one, and that is leadership. The other one is simplicity. There was a time we were in Lomakanda. I think we were receiving in-laws. I can't remember. My Cyrus's widows can remind me. But we were receiving, I think, guests from Embu. And they had laid a buffet, 5-star buffet. And Cyrus, in his simplicity, asked the wives, why have you put my ugali in a paper kwa karatasi? Mimi ugali yangu unapika ikiwa moto unaweka kwa sahani. So I told my brother Cyrus, this is 5-star catering. And he asked me in vernacular, Hanumi mhoteli. Inuni hoteli. Is this a hotel? This is not a hotel. This is my home. So they must cook food the way it's supposed to be cooked. The last one is Cyrus as a go-getter. Cyrus, I think it was in October 2023, he wanted to do some carbon credit business in DRC. And I happen to have 1 or 2 friends in DRC, so I thought I could assist. And of course, I took a bit too long in actualizing that meeting. We were to schedule a meeting between his delegation and Guodong and myself to meet Tshisekedi, but that took a bit too long, and Cyrus became impatient. The next thing I saw Cyrus was him signing an MOU with President Tshisekedi in State House in DRC. And do you know how he got that appointment? Not through the formal channel. Cyrus just went and met Tshisekedi's mother, and they spoke in Kiswahili. And Cyrus got an appointment. So me, who was struggling to fix an appointment using the formal channels, I failed flat. But Cyrus was a go-getter. Cyrus, I'll miss you. Cyrus, niba ni Nyasaye kulanji, uzini mirembe. Uzini mirembe. Na niba mkono kwa binadamu gulimu, handika kunyole. Let me end there, and I'll call the following speakers. And the church, we are really under a lot of pressure, So if you are given an opportunity to speak, it will be led by my brother, Sarah's brother, Senator George Haniri. We have press of time, please come forward. The church has given, and then Eugene, Martha Karua. If you could, I know you are my seniors, but political seniors, but please come just forward so that we can save on time. And if the church allows, maybe you can close with Amos Wako, but please. Dakika mbili alafu turudishe kwa kanisa. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Good morning, church. God is good. Come on, can I hear it? God is good. And all the time. You know, there was a Luo man who stood here and talked about Anne having cooked ugali that can make a highway all the way to Uganda. What he forgot to tell you is that most of that ugali was eaten by him. And he's number 1, followed by me. Sisi ndio tumekula hiyo ugali sana. Ladies and gentlemen, the dear family of my best friend, my brother, my party leader, my business partner, my comrade in arms, I stand here with a very heavy heart this morning. Never in my wildest imagination or dreams did I think that I'll ever stand here to eulogize my dear brother, or I would be the one chairing the committee that is organizing for his funeral. It is so hard for me, so hard, extremely hard. This death has dealt me a devastating blow. I don't even know where to start. I've lost my mentor, political mentor, my strongest pillar in politics, my strongest associate, my best friend. I am probably one of the very last people that Cyrus spoke to on phone, because I spoke to him on that Friday at 11 p.m. I actually called him at 10:59 and we spoke for 3 minutes until 11 or 2. So if you go to his call log, I'm probably one of the very last people he spoke to. The next call that came on my phone, on the call log, was a call from my sister-in-law, Anne, telling me that Cyrus has been involved in a very bad accident in Naivasha. So I asked him, how? I spoke to him at 11. He told me he was heading home because the following day we were to have lunch with him and Philip Kisia. How did he find himself in Naivasha? Ladies and gentlemen, the circumstances surrounding the death of my brother are mysterious. There are so many glaring gaps. So when you hear us say that we want a proper, thorough forensic investigation, we know what we are saying. I don't know why some people are getting uncomfortable when we say these things. The family wants a closure. And that can only come about if the truth comes out. I have known Cyrus for many years. I can vouch for sure, in the state he was, he did not drive himself to Naivasha. There are so many inconsistencies. We are told that he was in a head-on collision with a bus that was Busia bound. A bus going to Busia certainly was carrying Luhya people. Tell me which Luhya does not know Cyrus. I have not seen a single passenger come and say, yes, I was in that bus that collided with Cyrus. And yet we are told it has 60 passengers on board. Where are the passengers? Cyrus was driving a Mercedes-Benz, one of the latest, which I know for sure has 12 airbags. None of the airbags deployed. I'm not a forensic investigator, but we're just asking ourselves questions. Airbags will deploy when a car is in motion and the engine is running. So was this car running? Was the engine running? Or it was placed there to be hit? These are the questions we want answered. There are so many glaring gaps. All the family and us are asking for is we want a closure. We want to know exactly what happened. With the current technology, the CCTV technology will enable the investigators tell us how he got himself to Naivasha. Because some of us believe that he did not drive himself to Naivasha. Ladies and gentlemen, death has robbed us of a great son from the Mulembe nation. Cyrus loved his community, and he wanted the best for his community and this country. I know he had big plans in politics. My friend Mother Karua is here. I'm sure she'll allude to that. I know he threatened some people. His moves were threatening some people. Not that he threatened, but his moves were threatening some people. We depended on him for so much. He's left some of us as political orphans, but I'm sure God will show us the way. A generous man he was, and that one you can all attest. Alikuwa anapeana mpaka anajinyima yeye mwenyewe. He was even mean to himself and his family. Remember one day, and I said this before, I was somewhere in Westlands and he came and joined me. And I told him, Cyrus, tomorrow I'm going to my constituency. That time I was the MP for Hamisi. And he told, if you're going home, come with me to my car. I'll give you some money. So he took me, he was driving a white Land Cruiser. When he opened the boot, that boot there were 2 cartons of money in 1,000 denominations. I cannot estimate how much it was. And he gave me 500,000 Kenyan shillings, just like that. You're going home, chukua hii. And I went to my constituency, came back on a Monday. And on Tuesday, I went to see him in his office at Loita House. He was still in Loita House. I went with a friend of mine called Mohammed Yunus. And Cyrus is like Khaniri. Do you have 50,000 shillings you give me? There are people in the waiting room who I need to assist. So I told him, but Cyrus, you had money in cartons. He told me, it's finished. And I'm sure the bulk of it went to people out there, not the family. Money in cartons. A year it was 200 million a year. He had been paid by Kenya Power for supplying, I don't know, Imiti Manini. But the man was just finished like that. On a Thursday, you have 200 million. On Tuesday, unaomba shilingi 50,000. That was Cyrus for you. So, I have lost a dear friend. We used to call him Bishop Hope. He gave us hope even where there was no hope. It's Victor who gave him that name, Victor, Bishop Hope. I have been tasked with the responsibility of managing his funeral. I'm the chairman, together with Mheshimiwa Fred Gumo. I have a very strong team behind me. And that's why you see things moving the way they are moving. I want to thank the team that is working with me on the committee to give Cyrus a befitting send-off. My able team, whose secretariat is headed by Kwamuchesi and who? My friend, who? John Nyongesa, sorry, John Nyongesa. My treasurers are Sonia, Jirongo, and Regan, doing a great job. Thank you so, so much for the good job that you're doing. I will end there. It is very difficult. And we will not stop asking the questions we've been asking until we get the answers. Fare thee well, my beloved dear friend. On behalf of myself, the entire Nicodemus Khaniri family and my families, Anne, Kanini, Christine, Nyokabi, and Anne Lanoi, together with your children, my beloved sisters, the sisters to Jirongo, Mzee Alufayo, our elder brother, Poleni, be strong. My promise to you is that we will never abandon you. We will be with you all through. We will try to complete the things that we had started with Cyrus for the benefit of his family. Thank you very much. Fare thee well till we meet again. Asanteni.
Well, as I'd explained to you earlier, we are really pressed of time, and we need to respect the church. I don't know that the church can indulge. I don't want to live here. You know, these tirikis can be rough.
Just so that we can clarify, I think we all understand where we are. Not all of us can speak. If the speakers you call, and many of them have been members of parliament, they know when the speaker says it's 2 minutes, It's 2 minutes.
Thank you.
So if we keep to that,
Thank you.
I think it's orderly. But I think we are going and going and going, and we might go until evening. So I think
Thank
it's
you.
just orderly.
Thank you very much. Well guided. You've heard it from the Reverend. If you're called here and you spend more than 2 minutes, I'll just shut off the mic. So please, the SG UDP, brother, and you have exactly 2 minutes. Followed by Moses Kuria, you have 2 minutes. Dakambili. And then Mheshimiwa Nabi, the area MP for, yeah. Mheshimiwa Nabi.
Thank you so much. I think because of time, I'll read. The family, the church leadership, and the political leadership here, the UDP family, poleni sana. We offer our deepest condolences to the family, his friends, business partners, and all who have gathered here. We stand together, united in sorrow, to bid farewell to a giant of a man, our party leader, the Honorable Cyrus Jirongo. As you may well know, it is impossible to capture the essence of Honorable Jirongo in a few minutes, but let us remember him not just for the suddenness of his departure, but for the substance of his life. To us as a party, Honorable Jirongo was a leader and a man of courage and conviction, a visionary architect who founded this party, of course, together with other 5 members. In our belief, Jirongo's legacy is not etched in stone, but in the hearts of the common people he served so tirelessly. His leadership was a masterclass in deep empathy and strategic thinking. He taught us that politics is not about power for its own sake, but about service, a relentless fight for integrity, justice, and equitable development. He was the voice that spoke the unflinching truth to power and the man who never wavered in his commitment to a prosperous nation for all. We mourn him today, but we must also look forward. This tragic accident that took our leader's life has tested our resolve, but it will not break our spirit. The party is more than one man. It is a movement built on the unshakable principles that Cyrus championed. To the family, we say, his dream lives on. And to the nation, we declare, the work continues. The future direction of the party is clear. We will honor Cyrus by carrying forward his work. And we will redouble our efforts to realize his vision of a united nation built on fairness and opportunity. And we will ensure that the torch of unity among communities, unity in the country, justice and equitable development that he carried so brightly is passed on. We will not allow his sacrifices to be in vain. We will transform our grief into relentless dedication to the cause he espoused. Honorable Jirongo, your life was a testament to selfless service. Rest in power, our leader. We will make you proud. Thank you.
Thank you, SG. Moses Kuria and Nabi, please come forward. A minute, teacher. Mheshimiwa Nabi.
I'll speak for him. Church, family of my friend, the late Cyrus Jirongo, leaders present. I've come here to offer my condolences and last respect to a friend. I've known Cyrus for the last 32 years. 33 years to be precise. For those of us who are young student leaders at the advent of multipartyism, and I've got my classmates here who are in the committee, the year 1992, when we were student leaders, could easily be called the Jirongo year. As student leaders, especially radical ones who are opposed to the then government of Daniel Arap Moi, we used to, gossip about each other. This one is pretending to be upright, but he was seen with Jirongo, and you knew what that meant that time. John Nyongesa, kwa mchezo Makoha, you know what I mean. But our entry into politics that particular time was shaped by this man who was very much determined. Later, of course, I worked very closely with Jirongo. John Nyongesa used to consult for him, especially trying to manage the communication around his many cases. And much later, I had, and been known to many, a brief stint with the One Kenya Alliance with my sister mother here, and Cyrus, was very much determined before we took different paths and went different ways. We all remember Jirongo for his fortitude, his determination, and most importantly for me, for thinking big. Jirongo.
The future of infrastructure is not foreign. It's domestic.
Life became, complicated and difficult. As Khaniri has said, I used to say about Jirongo didn't want a jam ya pesa. Pesa moja lazima imalizike, ndio ingine ikuje. He was a very good spender on that basis. I want to just finish by saying 3 things. One, I want to support George Khaniri, Senator. We need to have thorough investigation on everything that is questionable. It does not presume guilt on anyone to have thorough investigation. And I offer to buy the torch, Khaniri, in that respect. Because the truth is important, and the truth is not presumption of guilt on anyone. The second thing is, for those of us, especially, let us be each other's brothers' keeper and sisters' keeper. And especially David Morade, those of us from the Uji and Chai Society, let us be each other's brothers and sisters' keeper, because it is important that we look after each other, especially when we are on that journey. And finally, to the Murembe Nation, if there was one man who loved his community, it was Cyrus Jirongo. Every time, and Philip Kizia would bear me witness because we had those sessions, every time Jirongo got either money or prospect of money, he would call us and tell us, can we start calculating how much we need to put together all the 38 constituencies of the Murembe Nation? And I've got a message for you and a story about one Cinderella. Cinderella spent all her time being told by her sisters that she's not beautiful. The day she discovered her beauty, life was never the same again. May God rest the soul of Cyrus in eternal peace. Thank you.
Thank you to my sisters-in-law, our sons, to the bigger family of Cyrus in the business community, in the political sphere, and those of us from Lembe Nation. I'm here to mourn a legend, to mourn a friend, to mourn a brother. In Cyrus, we did a number of things. I worked for him. We worked together. He worked for me. I'm here as a member of National Assembly because of his mentorship and support. I want to ask all of you that as a people of Lugari, as a people of Kakamega, and as a people of Western region, we are not just mourning a death. We are mourning a history. We are mourning a go-getter who placed us on the map of this country. I want to remind all of us that one day, very young, below 30, I was involved in an issue after 2007 election to reach Cyrus to go and vote for Marende. He did not despise me as the messenger. He listened to me and he delivered the vote. My brothers, Cyrus, you did everything for the Mlembe nation. We let you down when you needed us. I know in your heart you will find space to forgive us. I want to invite all of you to Lumakanda, to Lugari. We mourn allegiance together as we escort him to his final place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Nabii. We recognize Senator Shionga, Mheshimiwa Maraga, Commissioner Khadija, and Mheshimiwa Ndolo. Let me call the following to give their tributes. I know you're my seniors, but mimi ndio niko prefect siku ya leo, kwa hivyo lazima mtanipatia heshima. The first speaker in that category, my brother Eugene Wamalwa, will be followed by Honorable Karua and Mzee wa Kazi, Emeritus AG Senator Wako. This time I'll not give you 1 hour, you have 2 minutes.
Our Mlamua and Christine Kanini and Jirongo's family, fellow mourners, the church, may I bring my condolences to the family, the condolences of my party, the Democratic Action Party of Kenya, to the UDP family that was led by our brother Cyrus Jirongo. We say pole to you for losing a father, for a friend, and a leader. Looking at the array of mourners here, you can tell that we are here to mourn not just a great son of the Mulembe nation, because he was a leader whose influence went beyond Western Kenya. Not just a great son of Kenya, and you can see he had friends from every corner of Kenya. You had Kikuyus, Luos, Kisis, Akambas, everybody from every corner of this country was a friend. And not just in Kenya, we've seen beyond Africa, East Africa actually, from Uganda to Sudan to Libya, and across the world, all the way from China. We are very, very grateful to have all of you here mourning this great son of Africa, the son of Kenya, the son of the Mlembe nation. For me, I knew Cyrus when I was a young man, just going to the university at the time. He was a very close friend of my late brother Mike Wamalwa, and he was also very close to the late Masinde Muliro. Talking about generosity of Cyrus, I saw it firsthand. I was told then that the richest Luya man was a man called Ambwere. But then I was told at that time the richest man was no longer Ambwere. There's a young man who has come, and he's very rich, that he even has a certain note, 500 shilling note named after him. He's called Jirongo. And that he was a political genius and a mobilizer who, Moi, faced a very resurgent opposition. It was a first multi-party election, and this man was called Jirongo. I was very surprised that though he was in Kanu and he was Moi's right-hand man, Jirongo still had friends across the political aisle. He would come and speak to my late brother. He would come and speak to Masinde Muliro. He was not actually limited by political boundaries. And this is how Jirongo lived his life. And that is why in this congregation you could see people across the political aisle. He did not know any borders. In fact, if he was a doctor, he would have been one of those Medicinal Sans Frontiers, doctors without borders. He did not respect the border of tribe or religion or region. He cut across. And I would like us, particularly those of us who are from the Mlembe Nation who are here today, if there is one thing we can pick from Cyrus, the greatest honor we can bestow upon this man is to fight for what he fought for most, Luhya unity, the unity of the Mlembe Nation. And in so doing, we must rise above our petty politics. We must remember the words of Abraham Lincoln, who said, though we are politicians, we are not enemies, we are competitors. And that though passions may strain the bonds of affection, they must not break because of politics. That is how Cyrus lived his life. He worked with the opposition, he worked with government, but he reached out to all to unite not just the Mlembe Nation, but the greater Kenyan nation. So as we go forth, let us borrow a leaf from this leader from our region, and let us carry on the fight to ensure that, as Moses Kuria has said, the Luhya Cinderella finds her beauty, and that beauty lies in the unity that Cyrus fought for. Lastly, we do know that Cyrus was a politician who spoke his mind, who spoke truth to power. In fact, he has left us at a time when we have the debate that has just started about the referendum, constitutional review, and my big sister Martha is here. She led, as the Minister for Justice, the constitutional review that led to the review of our constitution and the birth of the 2010 constitution. That conversation has just started. Of course, they have the debate of Singapore. This is the time we would have liked the dynamite voice of Cyrus Jirongo to contribute to this national discourse that is just starting. I'm sure Cyrus might have said, well, we tried this at Bomas, at NADCO, at BBI. But right now, probably he would question, is it really our top national priority, the constitutional amendments that we want to talk about, when half of Kenya is going hungry? 55% of this country do not celebrate Christmas. Families cannot put food on the table. Up north, from Garissa to Wajir to Mandera, people are starving. And we cannot feed these families. And here we are talking about Singapore. He would have asked, our health sector is in a mess. For the first time, Kenyatta National Hospital is about to collapse. Just like a 100-year-old hospital in Kakamega called St. Mary's Mission Hospital that has been there since the colonial times is collapsing because of the failed share policies. He would have questioned some of these things, and we will miss that dynamite voice that speaks truth to power. And we must carry on this fight, even in his absence. Thank you, and God bless you.
The family of the late friend and brother, Cyrus Jirongo, led by the widows, Anne, Christine, and Anne, and the entire Jirongo family, and the people gathered here. We are here to honor a friend and a brother. I met Cyrus before he started, before his entry into politics. And in line with his character, he had come to the courts to bail out a friend, now a big shot in government. And in that process, because I too had gone to help that particular mutual friend, we got to know each other. Later we were to meet in Parliament. He was in government, we were in the opposition, but that did not stop our collaboration. We've collaborated with Cyrus in many political seasons. Moses Kuria mentioned some of it in the runner-up to the 2022 elections. We were planning on collaborating moving forward. It's not going to stop. I say aluta continua. And I want to say something maybe that has not been mentioned. Cyrus had concerns about his safety. He was actually making arrangements to better secure himself. This accident came before that time. So those questions will linger. But for now, we stand with the family. We say farewell to a person who had a large heart, generous, who saw people for who they are, a person who not only loved the Mulembe nation, but humanity, and who always thought of how he could improve on what was there. So to those of us in the political category, let us carry on the work of improving Kenya. And because this is a journey, this is a process, not a short-term thing, whatever we achieve in our times can be improved upon by the next. And let those who are in business carry on thinking big. He has gone before hitting it big, and I'm certain he was going to hit it big. So to his partners in business, carry on with his dreams and let his family reap the benefits. Rest in peace, Cyrus, till we meet again.
Senator wako.
Good morning. We have come and gathered here to honor, to celebrate, and to say a final goodbye to our dear friend, Cyrus Shahalaga kwa Jirongo. A great man, a great Kenyan, a leading entrepreneur, and a philanthropist. I first came to know CJ, as we now called him, early in 1992, when I was the Attorney General of the Republic. He was introduced to me by two Kenyan leaders, Honorable Elijah Wasike Mwangale and Honorable Burudi Nawera. And when I first met him, I noticed immediately that he was a man of great zeal, a lot of enthusiasm, really a go-getter, and very much concerned with the future of Kenya and the future of the Mulembe nation. So from that time, we hit off well and would meet many times between him and particularly Musalia at that time. Then one day he came to the office and gave me a surprise of my life. I had just been in the office for about 1 year. And he came and said, Wako, we want to make you Chief Justice of Kenya. I was surprised. I told him, no. I'm still a bit young. But more importantly, I was more focused on having a contribution towards constitutional and legal reforms so we can find somebody else. And I thought he had agreed. Only later, for Mwangale and Bunawera to say the same thing, and I gave them the same answer, and I thought that put matters to rest. Only later, for the President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi to tell me, you know, the elections are coming, we may go away and whatnot, and I don't want to have an expatriate Chief Justice anymore. At that time, the Chief Justice was Hancock's. I want an African Chief Justice, and you are the only one who can do this job. I explained to him in the best possible manner that maybe not. Then he told me, you get me a black man from anywhere in Africa, black man, to come and replace Hancock's. So I went to Ghana and convinced Apollo to come. That was Jirongo. I said he was a philanthropist. He helped many, as you have heard. Many succeed in politics, many succeed in business. He also helped me when I decided to join politics and to campaign in Busia. He came without any notice to me. I was on ODM, he was on the Federal Party, another party. He came to campaign for his people, but as far as senatorship was concerned, he told the Busia people they support Amos Wako of ODM. And also gave them something which did not mind, which went far above what I myself could give in the form of campaign. So he really campaigned for me. I said he was an entrepreneur. And I want to repeat what I think Amayo said. He was a leading contractor and developer before he even joined YK92. Maybe it's because he was such a leading developer.
Your future starts at USIU Africa. Experience world-class education.
He was the only person at that time, and by that I mean African, who was a developer and a contractor who was putting up estates in Nairobi. The only other Kenyan I knew was Kenneth Gino Matiba. Jirongo was one of them. So if he had not been interfered with because he joined politics, I can tell you he would have gone very far, and he was there to encourage particularly the Mulembe nation also to be entrepreneurs, also to have a bank, also to have insurance company, and so on. We mourn a great man, and particularly in Mulembe nation, the best way we can give him tribute is what Eugene said, let us unite. My kind condolences to the family. We shall stand with you now, and we shall stand with you in future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Senator. Protect your mothers, protect your siblings, protect the girls. May God bless you. Thank you very much. CJ, till we meet again.
Amen. Yeah, let's appreciate our honorable members and also the business associates and friends of Honorable Cyrus Jirongo. Let's appreciate them once more. So allow me at this time to invite the music team to give us one song.
You are Alpha and Omega.
We can stand
We
and sing together.
worship you alone. You are worthy to be praised. You are Alpha and Omega. We worship you alone. You You are worthy to be praised. Let me say, we give you all the glory. You are the glory. Oh Lord, we worship you. You alone are worthy to be praised. We give you all the glory. Every hour.
Four of us are not here. Two of them they are back home trying to help, and one of them is not feeling well. And we ask you, when you leave here, to put him in prayer. I will read these tributes on their behalf. Our beloved brother, it is unfortunately you had to depart from us at this early stage in life. I take this opportunity to thank you, even though we are doing it through this tragedy and as we mourn. We will never understand why, but our Father in heaven knows all and knows best. You have been a role model to our children and us. And you have done so much, we cannot mention enough. We promise to carry you along on our back and in our hearts in every step we make in life. You are one of our pillars, a pillar that has fallen, but will live in us forever. Your strength and courage carried us through all times. To others, you are a politician, you are a friend, you are a money giver, all name it. But to us, you are our blood brother, and extraordinary brother and a father figure. I pray for God to keep us as we go through this sorrow and a difficult time. We love and cherish you, and always will. Rest well, our dear brother. Amen. And before we leave stage, I'll take this opportunity to thank our three sister-in-laws. They have been very wonderful human beings. And I'm asking you kindly to continue with the same spirit, even though Cyrus is gone. We love you, and let's keep pushing. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Amen. Let's appreciate the siblings to Honorable Cyrus Jirongo. At this time, I'll call the children here to come, and we'll have June Jirongo and Judy Jirongo, who will read tributes on behalf of the children. The children, please come. The children to Honorable Cyrus Jirongo, please come. And June Jirongo and Judy Jirongo will be able to read tributes on your behalves. Why can we appreciate the children to Honorable Cyrus?
Afternoon, church. My name is June Jirongo, and I'll read my tribute, then hand over to Judy. Thank you. So, let me wait. Dad, I am lost for words. I still can't believe you're gone. When I look back, there's always more we could have done together. I choose, however, to look at the good times, the life you lived, the memories we made. The girls are devastated. Your darling and your mom, they loved you so much, and they're still in shock. They remember you as a big, great man, larger than life, yet still the ever generous and happy grandpa. The breakfast and lunch dates you enjoyed together and the plans you had, no one can fill your shoes, but as their parents, we'll do our best to fulfill the plans you had for them and keep your memories alive as they grow. You are and will always be our father, our rock, our provider, our strength and shield. We're all so sad. May you rest well and find peace and happiness in your next life. We're proud of you and thank you for everything.
Good morning, church. My name is Judy Kalamwa. I have a tribute. This will take about 5 minutes, and we have a sister who's not here as well. Her name is Sally, and she asked us to read a poem on her behalf. To Dad, I can't comprehend that you're not here. I'm struggling to reconcile it. It's not loading, but I'm trying. My heart feels deaf. People are apologetic everywhere, but I don't understand why. It's like they see something that we don't. Black tea, so I can ask for 1K for the week. I want Auntie to tell me to stop wearing your socks. I want to say that I'm sorry where we disappointed you. We had so many things that we had wanted you to see. We wanted to show you what we could do on our own so that you could see how far we could go. Can't accept that you won't see them, so we choose to believe that you will. That when these things happen, God will allow you to see. So don't forget about us. We'll wait for you. I know that you're probably busy with the new task that you've been given, and it's much better where you are than it is here. But please make time to visit us, at least on the important days. We'll wait for you every day until we die. I look forward to seeing you again. Until then, stay safe, Dad. Just one more component. To those who didn't know him, our father was a good man at heart. Like all men, he had his shortcomings. He was a man of extremes, extreme generosity, extreme compassion, and extreme grace for his children. And when things went wrong, sometimes they did go wrong in a big way. He was a man of high ideals and high expectations. As children, we looked up to him. As we grew older, we began to understand him. At times we questioned him, but overall we always deeply admired and consistently strove to make him proud. I believe that God sees him in his entirety, his heart, his spirit, his struggles and the burdens that he carried, all of him. God is a great equalizer. I pray that he gives our Father grace and keeps him well. I thank God for the time that we had with our Father and for the Father that he gave us. I want to thank my dad for everything that he did for us. I am who I am because of him. I want to thank my mothers. Only God can repay them for what they've done for us. I thank my siblings. I'm grateful for you. Our extended family, his friends, and everyone who has supported us, be blessed. Can you allow me to read the poem that Sally had written? So this is from Sally. I tell myself to return to who I am, but grief has taken the shape I knew. I became myself beside my father, and without him I do not know my edges. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie writes of bodies hurting in grief, tongues turning bitter, hearts racing beyond control. I feel all of this. Thick Nat Han teaches calm in the storm of anger, a breathing back into the self. But my grief is a storm without a center, and I cannot find the self that I meant to return to. So I choose another way. I choose continuity, a tree that grows because he existed, love still alive, roots that hold the earth he once walked. I am my father's child. My ribs ache from crying. My heart runs away from me. My body has become a place of breaking, my mind a hive of bees. And the world goes on unchanged. The mail still comes, the sun still rises. People still speak of ordinary things. Life does not pause for my sorrow. Inside me, something has shattered. Grief says it's finished. My heart says it's not. Dad, I thought you were immortal. I thought you'd always be here. I thought you had mastered time. I thought you commanded it. You are larger than life itself. Thank you.
You can wait for her to do the eulogy. You can wait for Sonia to do the eulogy. Can stand with Sonia as she does the eulogy.
Good morning, church. My name is Sonia Jirongo. Before my father's untimely passing, he asked that in the event this day come, I read his eulogy. Honorable Cyrus Shahalaka kwa Jirongo, a life lived to the full. Today we gather not merely to mourn the passing of a man, but to celebrate a life that was lived boldly, fully, and without apology. We gather to honor Honorable Cyrus Shahalaka kwa Jirongo, scion of the Tiriki, son of Kenya, a father and a brother, a builder, a kingmaker, and a force of nature. Cyrus Jirongo was born on 21st March 1961 in Virembe village, Shamahoho of Tiriki in Hamisi, to the late Paul Jirongo Shahalaka and Selina Ikonanga Jirongo. He was the 11th child in a family of 13, raised in a home grounded in Christian faith, discipline, and enduring belief in hard work. Growing up on the edge of the forest block in Lumakanda, he learned early the values that would define him for life: responsibility, generosity, courage, and a natural instinct to lead. As a boy, watching heavy transit trucks rumble down toward the Kip Karen River Bridge, Cyrus imagined himself on the wheel of those monstrous trucks, in control of power and movement. It was an early sign of a man drawn to scale and possibility. From a young age, it was clear that he was not meant for small things. His ambition was never quiet or concealed. It was bold, visible, and determined. His early education was at Lumakanda DEB Primary School, followed by Mangu High School, with confidence, but it was equally evident that his education would not be confined to classrooms alone. Immediately after high school, Cyrus made the defining choice. He entered the world of business. Entrepreneurship summoned him, not as an option, but as a command, and he answered without hesitation. He understood markets intuitively. Where others feared risk, he saw opportunity. He built, expanded, failed, rose again, and built bigger. In the early 1990s, he transformed Kenya's real estate landscape by pioneering affordable, spacious housing for the middle class at a time when such thinking was revolutionary. Hazina Estate, Saika Estate, Kemri Estate, and Ngata Rongai stand today as physical monuments to his vision. Beyond real estate, his footprint extended across energy, cement, production, logistics, finance, and later into African mining and carbon markets. Cyrus Jirongo did not merely participate in the economy, he helped to shape it. He believed that enterprise was not only about profit, but about dignity, jobs, and opening doors where none had existed. Though he learned relentlessly from experience, he also held a deep respect for formal education. He believed that knowledge was the one possession no one could ever take away. Later in life, he returned to the classroom, earning a higher national diploma in management from Cambridge University and an executive MBA from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. It was, however, in public life that Cyrus Jirongo became a national figure. In 1992, he was thrust onto the political stage as chairman of Youth for Kani 92, where he established himself as a master mobilizer, organizer, and strategist. His influence during his period was so pronounced that it put his as well business success in jeopardy and forced him into active politics. He served with distinction as chairman of AFC Leopard, as a member of parliament for Lugari constituency for 2 non-consecutive terms, as secretary for internal relations of Kano, and as minister for rural development in parliament and cabinet. He believed leadership was practical work, connecting households to opportunity through roads, schools, clinics, water, power, and markets. A little story is told about how at the height of the post-2007 election violence, he rode on a black Mamba bicycle persuading his constituents to take in internally displaced persons. Even when his electoral ambitions did not yield victory, he never retreated from public life. Cyrus Jirongo believed that leadership was not about winning once, but about standing up every time. He founded and led political parties out of deep conviction, believing fiercely in federalism, economic empowerment, and dignity for ordinary Kenyans across the nation. For his service, he was awarded the Order of the Golden Heart of Kenya, EGH, one of the nation's highest honors. Yet those who knew him best will tell you that titles mattered less to him than impact. His proudest legacy was not office, but people. Students whose education he paid for, families he supported, entrepreneurs he backed, businesses he rescued, and communities he uplifted. His role in championing the growth of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology remains a lasting gift to Western Kenya and the nation. Beyond public life, Cyrus Jirongo was above all a family man, a patriarch in the truest sense. He was husband to Anne Kanini, Christine Nyokabi, and Anne Lanoi, and a devoted father to many children, each carrying a piece of his spirit. To them, he was not a politician or tycoon. He was simply dad, loud, loving, demanding, generous, and present. He celebrated their victories loudly, corrected them firmly, and believed in them relentlessly. His multicultural children speak of a man who taught not through lectures, but by example.
Introducing ClickUp Super Agents. Every human can create an AI agent. Our state-of-the-art
filled rooms, his humor examined tension, his voice carried authority. He gave freely, sometimes too freely, but always from a place of love. To his siblings, Cyrus was more than a brother. He was a pillar, a shield, a provider, and a pathfinder. He carried his family with him as he rose, never forgetting where he came from, never abandoning those behind him. In life as in death, he remained the center that held many together. Cyrus Jirongo lived as he was, authentic and unapologetic. He spoke the truth, he took risks, he failed publicly and rose again every time. He believed fiercely in possibility. He loved deeply and gave generously. Today, Kenya has lost a political giant. Western Kenya has lost a son. His family lost a husband, a father, a brother, and a protector. But loss is not the final word on the Cyrus Jirongo story. He leaves behind something stronger than absence: legacy. Legacy in the lives transformed, legacy in the courage passed on, legacy in the children who carry his name and his fire. His voice may be silent, but his impact still speaks. His life was full, his race is run, and his legacy endures.
Thank you so much. We're going to just appreciate the children of Honorable Cyrus.